Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank y'all, everybody who's staying with us and still listening to us out there in social media land. We appreciate it. At this time of the show, we always do a missing and or exploited child. This week is no different. This week's missing child goes by the name of Relisha Talal Rudd. Now, this is someone who I kind of put out there the last few days on social media. This is not your typical missing child. This missing child was abducted by a dude by the name of Khalil Malik Tatum. Tatum was a janitor at a homeless shelter where the girl had been living with her mother and stepfather. Washington, D.C. police alerted Prince George's County Police, which is in Maryland, that one of the cars sought in the Rudd case was seen at a Red Roof Inn along Oxon Hill Road. Inside a hotel room was a deceased woman who was identified as Tatum's wife, 51-year-old Andrea Denise Tatum. Prince George's County Police recently announced that they had charged Tatum with the death of Andrea. Translation: Relisha Tanal Rudd is thought to be with someone who has been charged with the murder of his own wife. So we need to get our eyes open and we need to bring this little girl home. Endangered, she is someone who the family is missing, a black female. Her date of birth is October 29, 2005. This whole thing went down. She's been missing since February 26, 2004. She's 8 years old. As I stated before, she's missing from Washington, D.C. She's a black female, medium complected, black hair, medium length, brown eyes. She doesn't wear any glasses or anything. We need to bring this child home, and I've been following this story for the last couple of days since it's been on my radar, and I'm really, really nervous for Relisha Tanal Rudd. This is somebody who can kill his wife and leave her body in a hotel room. We don't know what the hell he might be capable of doing to this poor child. So keep your eyes open. If you have seen Relisha Tanal Rudd, please contact the blackandmissinginc.com website, missingkids.com website. Contact your local authorities or the Prince George's or the Washington, D.C. Police departments, or contact missingkids.com by phone at 1-800-THE-LOST. 1-800-843-5678. Let's bring this little girl home, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus. Yeah, I'm gonna continue with the what the hell segment that we had going on. Just a couple of things that we didn't get to when we were talking about what the hell before. And the first thing I want to get to, Blessed, I want you in on this one first. There's a new movie that's coming out in a couple of weeks, and that movie is called Noah. It is about Noah's Ark, and we know Noah's Ark is a story that is in the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Most people know that book as the Bible, and there are a lot of people who are in an uproar about this movie and movies like it. They have issues with regards to and I'm gonna make up a word, the Hollywoodization of biblical stories. And I think this one might be, and this is my opinion, this is not anything that I've seen, but my opinion, this is about as Hollywood as it gets. The way that they're depicting Noah. Noah is depicted as a tough guy, as an environmentalist, as a strong man. You're viewing some of the catastrophes in the movie as very, very over the top. And one of the things that a lot of the religious groups have issues with is the fact that they not once use the word God in the movie. I was a part of a blog this weekend, which is the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because I wanted to see if I was tripping or if it's the religious folks that's tripping. That one person actually said that they won't be a part of anything that does not give the glory to God. And so I wanted to bring it up. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I did want to bring it up. Bless, you up first. The movie Noah, do you intend to see it? Have you heard about it? What's your thoughts about Hollywood making movies based on Bible stories? In the interest of full disclosure, we know that you play the piano in the church. So I assume that there's some faith going on there, particularly when you're there in church and you see what's going on and you feel the energy. I'm assuming you're a Christian person. I don't know if that's a fair assumption, but if you played piano in church, I think that's a fair assumption. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jump in here with your opinion.
My opinion is every, what was it, Christmas, Thanksgiving, every Easter, well, it was the Sound of Music for Easter, but it was one holiday, I can't remember which one it was, but we watched Charlton Heston playing Moses, and I don't really remember anybody having a real problem with that, so I did watch it most of the time. The Bible that was on TV, that now they decided they wanted to make money off of it and put it in the movie theaters. The fact that this is a biblical story and they have Hollywoodized it, it's just, this is a little bit over the top. Who was it? Russell Crowe, that's Noah, and
Russell Crowe.
There's going to be floods, and I mean, who doesn't know the story? And who's going to go to see the movie? I don't.
Diva, jump in.
I can't.
I don't really know what to say. I'm not a really religious person. I believe in God, and that's about as far as it goes. As for, a belief system, I believe God exists and that He is the creator. So I don't have a lot of opinions about, the story in relation to the Bible. A lot of things have been Hollywoodized, however you say that word he made up. If you think about it, I mean, when they do autobiographies and stuff like that, they Hollywoodize that too, So I guess it could offend some people who are really religious and really into the Bible. And, if you don't mention God at least one time in a religious story, then what in the world, what's going on with that?
Yeah, that.
K-Dub, jump in. What you got?
Could really care less either way. I know that some people probably are not going to see it because of the Hollywoodization of the film, but I really could care less. If you really want to have a real story, then you're going to have to recreate all of those stories and make Jesus look like me. You know what I'm saying? Or when you have these stories and you have Moses, make sure that he looks like someone of a darker complexion, right? If you really want to keep it funky. Charlton Heston, you know what I'm saying? That's not Moses. Moses was of darker skin, and also, be it that he, if I'm not mistaken, he spent time in Pharaoh's castle, proclaiming to be a relative of him. So of course he had to look like him, and those people of that age, that time, and that part of the country, that part of the world, don't look like John B.
And so was
I personally, just to get back to the gist of it, I really could care less, to be honest. No, it's not a movie that I would be checking out.
And so is Noah. I mean, any of those people in the Bible, you would guess would be of a darker hue. Here's my thing, right? I'm not one that reads the Bible every night. I'm not one that's well versed in all of the stories in the Bible, but I have always been intrigued by the story of Noah. And so I was excited to hear that they were making a movie about Noah. And so, I want to see it. And when I saw the Hollywoodization of the story of Noah, I had quite the opposite reaction that some of the religious folks had. Like, I was like, word. Because then you actually get to see what is really going down. Like, I mean, think about the story. I mean, this dude had to build a big ass boat and put all the animals on it because they could fly. But he had to build this boat to put all the animals on it, or else they would get wiped away. Like, how do you not in 2014 make that movie and not make it a disaster movie? So that's the first thing. So you got to accept that before you really get into anything else. Now, if you're someone that is so religious and you got an issue with them using the word God, look, I can't really debate or argue that with you. But what I will say is this: it's not that serious, people. It's really not. Like last week, we talked about Black Jesus, and we talked about how Aaron McGruder, the creator of the Boondocks, has a TV show. Has a TV show that he's going to be doing about Black Jesus. And I said on the air last week, if Jesus was here and he walked the earth today, some people actually think that God is with you and he is already talking to you. And if you believe that, then great. But if Jesus was here, Jesus would laugh, yo. He would laugh at how serious y'all take him, like for real, seriously. Come on, man. If you can't have a movie about Noah with the disasters, and you can't have a TV show about Jesus in South Central when you know that this is the same dude that fed a whole bunch of people with bread and wine. If that ain't the hood, then what the hell is? Come on.
But the whole purpose
about
of
the
Noah
Spirit of God.
building the ark was
But the movie ain't about God. It's about Noah.
But
That's
the
the
reason
problem.
why he built the ark was because God told him.
Yeah.
You
That's
mean to
the
tell me?
problem.
All right. So where were these same people who had a problem about the movie that Jim Carrey did, that Steve Carell ended up taking over, that had the black guy?
Ark
And
or
he built the
something.
ark too. No, that was.
Help me out, somebody.
I can't remember the name of it.
Gosh, I can't think of the
I
name.
know
And
exactly
Morgan
what you're
Freeman
talking
was
about.
Morgan
God.
Freeman played God, and nobody was tripping off of that because you went into it.
It was
knowing,
funny.
You went into it knowing it was funny. You went into it knowing that it's not that serious.
Right.
You know, what about the old God movies with George Burns in the 70s? Ain't nobody trip about them. I mean, come
Because
on.
they were comedies, I guess. This is supposed to be more of a historical. Is it?
It's supposed to be real life. What
Okay.
they're doing there.
Okay. I mean, y'all looking at me like I'm supposed to go, oh, yeah, okay, I guess
Well,
I get
you've
it
been
now.
researching
Like,
it.
but I'm
live in a
still
time-
like,
we
it's
live
not
in a
that
time
serious.
that everybody has an opinion about something, and everybody has to tell you why they're mad about something. Everybody is not going to be in agreement with everything. I mean, we live in a time where everyone can voice their opinion, and they sit behind this whole thing of, I guess their word is their bond, whatever like that, and what they say is what it really is, or what have you. So, we live in a different time. Back when the George Burns movie came out or whatever like that, it probably wasn't anybody that had a problem with it or what have you. This is the first time that I'm hearing that people are kind of, looking at the Noah movie and saying, different things like, oh, I'm not going to see it because of this, that, and the third.
People
and it's
losing
crazy
their
because
mind,
how
man.
do they know? The movie ain't came out yet. So how do they know everything?
They're going off of the reviews,
the
and they're
movie's
going
framed.
off of the reviews, and they're going off of the opinions of the people who have decided to either endorse the movie or not endorse the movie. And I just wanted to bring that up. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I will say that my opinion, just like everybody has their opinion, I'm gonna state mine. You ain't gotta say God's name in the movie. It's a movie, okay? It's not that serious. It's a movie that happens to come from the Bible. And just because it came from the Bible doesn't mean that in the movie you got to state God's name and all of that kind of stuff. I just don't think that that's got to be necessary for you to see a movie that's entertaining and potentially take some liberties with the biblical story. I have no issues with that. Personally, that's my opinion. If somebody has a differing opinion, that's fine for you to have your opinion, but don't look at me and tell me that I'm wrong for mine. Because that's how I feel. I honestly believe, well, I don't believe nothing, I know. I honestly know from my own relationship with the Creator that He looks at y'all sometimes and be like, y'all see how y'all act? Y'all, it's not that serious, people. It's not. And He laughing. Like, man, I got these people all riled up. And he's somewhere tripping off of the whole thing. Ain't no how to step on Marcus yet. K-Dub, I'm hoping that you ain't never had to ride in an ambulance. But if you have, I'm hoping that the paramedics ain't out there arguing and fussing and all of that stuff and make you have to get out and catch the metro of whatever town you in to go to the hospital on your own because they can't seem to get it together. Because it's a sister in D.C. She called 911. I'm getting this from NBCWashington.com. She called 911. And she got out of the ambulance and took the metro to the hospital because the paramedics got to arguing. Rose Preston thought she was having a stroke when she began experiencing numbness and tingling on her left side of her face around 2:15 a.m. on March 15th. She called 911, but once she was inside the ambulance, two members of the D.C. Fire and EMS began to have a heated argument. Quote, they were constantly bickering back and forth with one another, and to the point that I felt uncomfortable. Preston wasn't sure what the men were arguing about, but it seemed to be personal. I didn't feel safe being transported in that vehicle. End quote. Sources familiar with the incident say paramedic engine 27 responded from Deeringwood Northeast as well as ambulance 19 in Southeast. A memo to the chief Kenneth Ellerby, a firefighter, said her partner asked where the 27 paramedic was, and the answer that was given, quote, someone went and got him, and my partner asked him if he was going to check out the patient. Due to the nature of the dispatch, medics started to assess the patient, and he and my partner got into a verbal altercation about why it was needed for someone to get him. Oh, man, that's bad. K-Dub, jump in there first, man.
That's tough, man. Hey, let's just be glad that, you know, it wasn't a more serious situation, you know, for that lady or what have you. I can't see that this is like the first time that that's ever happened, man. I can definitely see people or I should say ambulance attendees arguing, but I would think that all of that kind of goes out the window when you got somebody in the back and they need to go to the hospital. You know,
Bless, jump.
You know, I'll handle that later.
Let me stop you, Dub. Bless, jump in right there.
I have been in the ambulance before, and I would feel the same way if I didn't feel safe. Number one, it takes a lot of responsibility for people. I mean, we see the police officers that tell us not to use phones and not to use CVs and whatnot while we're driving. So I'm under the impression maybe they were going somewhere, and she felt unsafe in there, and finally was like, hold on, let me get out and let me walk or whatnot. I just, that's, wow.
Diva?
I guess my take is, you know, which is worse? Is it worse to stay in the ambulance and risk getting in an accident while you're having a stroke, or is it worse to jump out of the ambulance? I hope it was stopped to go catch the metro where you having a stroke. You know what I'm saying? Either way you look at it, it was a dangerous situation, and she's blessed that she made it there. And she was pretty safe when she made it there, right?
Yeah, she made it to the hospital. Basically, based on my interpretation of the article I read, she's going to be okay. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus J. Live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio.com. We are the flagship show right here on LegacyInternetRadio.com. Blessed. WRIC Channel 8 right here locally. I'm getting this article from that. If you ever been to Walmart and got your toes sucked?
Oh, my God.
You ever got your toes sucked at Walmart?
I can't even get that done at home. Why would I? No, seriously, no, I don't.
Police have apprehended a man in North Carolina who sucked a woman's toes at Walmart after he convinced her he was a podiatry student and persuaded her to take off her shoes. Detective Dennis Harris said the woman agreed to try on several pairs of shoes at a discount store in Lincolnton, and that at some point during the process, the man stuck her foot in his mouth. Harris said the man apparently tried the same thing at another Walmart 15 miles away, where he told the woman he was conducting a survey on the feet of different races and nationalities. The second woman also agreed to take off her shoes, but left when the suspect asked to remove her socks. Both confrontations happened last week on Monday. Bless, you want to answer that question again?
Now, I've heard of foot fetishes, but this is going a little too far. I mean, people like to look at feet, but actually stick them in your mouth. Too. I mean, but in somebody you don't know, and you've been walking around. Walmart's a big place. You've been walking around for a little while in Walmart. Them things is kicking.
They probably kicking. But if you have a fetish like that, you don't care. You like a freak.
Oh my God!
But I'm tripping off the fact that, you know, Walmart, you can get your hair done, you can get your car fixed, and now you can get your toes.
And you know, SY agrees with you, because she said she going to Walmart, North Carolina this weekend. Joy is laughing out loud. Michelle K is saying, ew. And SY again is saying, come get some, baby. SY say.
That's all he had to do was work in it.
Yeah,
why
don't he collaborate with the nail people at the Walmart?
Hey, Dub, jump in here, man. We sucking toes at Walmart now?
Yo, that's when I read that article, man, that's some weirdo-ish right there. But what's up with the lady that's just so willingly to, you know, take her shoe off and all that? I mean, I don't care if you are. I mean, what if a dentist walked up to you in Walmart and was like, hey, you know, I'm studying to be a dentist. Let me see what that. I ain't gonna say it the way I want to say. let me see your grill. I mean, come on, man. Really, in Walmart, you gonna take your shoe off so that? Nah, man.
Ain't no hat stepping with Marcus.
That's weird, man. That's weird.
Hey, Diva, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Can white people get HIV?
Of course, any race, any ethnicity.
You sure?
Yes.
Your studies.
I know where you're going.
Your studies of human immunovirus says that anybody could get it, right?
Yes, anyone.
Even monkeys.
Well, they say
I just
that's
threw
a
that out.
theory.
I
That's
just
a
threw- I
theory
just
that
threw
it
that-
started there.
I just threw that out there to confuse you. But yes, white people can get HIV.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting this from thegrio.com. It's a British woman, white woman by the name of Rachel Dilly. She's 48 years old. Says she contracted HIV at 40 years old from a sexual fling and admitted during an appearance on the UK's ITV This Morning talk show that she, quote, didn't know anything about HIV and thought you got it in Africa. Didn't know a white person that ever got it, she said. I knew nothing about HIV and AIDS, and everything I read on the internet terrified me. When I told my children, they were devastated. My daughter was so affected she couldn't speak, and my younger son said, "Are you going to die?" I couldn't have felt more ashamed because I had no one to blame but myself. You got a white woman in Britain, Diva, who didn't realize that white people can get HIV. She thought that you can only get it in Africa. What you got?
It's a really sad thing. I mean, ignorance was not bliss in this situation. I mean, I guess you can't really blame her if she wasn't educated on HIV. I mean, I know in the United States, I was educated as a child. As soon as it, hit the news, we knew about how it was contracted and things of that sort. But her to have the audacity to think, oh, I'm a white woman, I'm immune. I mean, she kind of gets what she gets.
Hey, Dub, what you got, man?
Ignorance at its best, ignorance at its finest. She thought you could only get it from Africa. Again, that just points to, whoever is the, I won't even get into it. Ignorance, man. Ignorance at its best. And trust and believe, she's not the only one that have either thought like that or thinks like that currently.
That's why I said that I said her name wrong instead of her name Rachel Dilly. That's why I says that her name is Rachel Silly. That's that one. It's one of those stories where Joy is saying, what the hell, which is the reason why we talk about this, Sister Joy, because that is a what the hell. It's one of those things where, when we see other stories, like this is a story where we can laugh, not laugh because this woman has a disease that quite possibly could take her out of here, but we laugh because when we show situations where people on the other side of the color line view us a certain kind of way, this is a perfect example of how they don't think they the same as you. At least a lot of them don't. They don't think they the same as you. They gonna sit. This woman thought that you only got HIV and AIDS because you was in Africa. I mean, come on, man. You mean to tell me that there's no propaganda in England, in Europe, in Western Europe where she's from, that would show her that a disease that has been out there for, as far as I know, at least the last 35 years and probably more, she ain't think that she can get it?
Well, do we have the statistics on Great Britain and how, HIV?
I don't have the statistics, but what I do know is it's a worldwide disease.
Right.
And even if it was a very low occurrence in Great Britain, if you still in 2000, what they say, she's 48, she got it 8 years ago. So in 2006, when she potentially contracted this, if in 2006 you're 40 years old and you don't realize that human versus human contact, whether it be shake your hand, I can feel the pulse, kiss you, I can feel your tongue, sex, I can feel everything else. Like, you don't understand what a human being feels like with human contact. If you don't understand that at 40 years old in 2006, then I'm sorry, you get what you get. Whether you white, black, communicating physically with whites and blacks or whatever it is, you kind of get what you get. Bless, you look like you want to say something.
No, I mean, there are white people. There are white people in Africa. Number
Yeah.
one.
Not a lot, but they there.
Yeah,
Like Tarzan
South
and them.
Africans, but yeah. But
You know, 'cause
it's-
And you know what they are? You know what they are? Oh, nah, never mind.
Nah,
Not even gonna go there.
you know, people. Yeah,
But on top of that, it wouldn't even have to be HIV. Any type of unprotected sexual contact, you can catch other things. It wouldn't even have to be HIV. You should be protecting yourself.
you should
That's
be
just
worried about
ignorant.
getting.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying? You can,
Claps.
you could get that or the little white crawlies. And you know how Steppin with
Yeah.
Marcus J. We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna take another break, and when we come back, we got the diva, y'all. We here to get into what she's here to get into. Actually, I got one more comment. Joy is saying what the hell, but SY is saying what the hell exactly. She's either stupid or just wanted to get in the news for a stupid ass statement. It's probably that. I'll be honest with you, SY. I wish you was here so I could see your face when you said it, because you're probably right on that one. Marcus J, K-Dub, Diva, and Blessed in the studio, and you in social media. Stay with us. Be back in a few minutes.